capital of Latvia, which next year will be capital of European culture. Yes, so welcome to Latvia and to Riga. You see, according to this roundtable, I am supposed to talk about two issues. One, how this unemployment is looked in academic, and the second, in public policy. And I built my presentation around these two issues. So, but first of all, I want to talk a little bit about trends. You see number of young people in absolute figures, and the ratio of young people till 1995, age 15, 24. You see, till all those in 1995 have already born, you see. So you can, and the trends is very, as you see, bad. It is without potential migration from Lampedusa or any other area, yes? It is our own population, yeah? And it is due to situation then since 1991, we have, during all years without exception, negative natural increase. So more deaths than births. And it is the result. Now, yes, unemployment. Yes, unemployment, you see here is European average and Latvian. Latvian is blue one, and you see in top we'll have 35%, but now we have almost the same as European average, because our economy was hit very seriously by crisis. So, next one, unemployment in Latvia, and here is common figures. Then women unemployment, you see. Women unemployment in my country is lower than average unemployment, and in green you see youth unemployment, which is extremely much higher than unemployment in general. It is concerning figures, and now I turn to academic evaluation. This evaluation I will based on research which was made by World Bank this spring. And the research title was Latvia, who is unemployed, inactive, or needy, an assessment of post-crisis policy option, an evaluation of active labor market program, and related social benefit program. And so it's quite fresh data that employment has not recovered yet, and there is debates. Is it cyclical or structural? You know, it's cyclical, it means that a recession, if structural, no enough skills, yeah? And I would like to say that it is both structural and cyclical, but the level of vacancies is still very low, and available vacancies are filled very quickly. Which is not consistent with the idea that there is mismatches between supplied and demanded skills. The best performing program was evaluated for men and for women separately. And as you see, for men, first place is professional training in manual, as well as services and sales job. But for a woman, it was employer provided training in manual job and professional training in manual job. But you see, in both that manual training in manual jobs is still dominating. And then is IT basic skill and the state languages. Because in my country, minority is little bit less than 40%. Good skills in state language is compulsory precondition for participation in labor market, and English intermediate level is very important as well. And now I would like to share with you this grouping provided by World Bank researchers. You see, here are 9 groups. I have more detailed information concerning each group, but here you see single, older, unemployed, disabled, pre-pension age, and it is the largest one, 22. But the second following is single young males with low education. It is a little bit older here than our target group, but nevertheless it is our audience discussed today. Then older unemployed, stay-at-home moms with small child, poorly educated rural men but breadwinner, married, because there is a very clear status, married or not married, because family is very great support for unemployed person. Self-employed older men, and then if we are looking on these 9 groups, then what we can discover? Then in these 9 groups, 3 groups have low education, but another 3 groups have very low education. Yes, and only highly educated stay-at-home moms, these self-employed older men and stay-at-home moms with small child, they are with good education. And dominated rural person. So, and our audience is these single young males with low education. It is 18% of all employed, 20 very low, never married, no children, and rural. Here is another evaluation of who is unemployed. Was done by European Bank of Reconstruction and Development concerning youth unemployment. It was Michelle Brock. She evaluated that high youth unemployment is due to less experience, as we have heard today, yes, as natural consequence of age. And what for me here is very important is that younger cohorts don't have as much education as older cohorts. Maybe not so older cohorts as mine, yes, speaking honestly. But you see, in 1991, in my country, it was politicians decided that secondary education is too big luxus, is too luxury for our population. And compulsory secondary education is not compulsory. It's only basic education. 9 years is compulsory. And this very much influenced those who were not so successful, and they cannot compete in our labor market. And improvement of vocational training programs targeted at youth became very acute for labor market inclusive policy in Latvia. I reproduced this Michelle Brock conclusion because from my point of view, it's really crucial for our improvement and treatment of our labor market. Therefore, I was so big interest in me for Kim, this dual education experience, because in our country there is secondary education and then a lot of demand for higher education, despite the fact that it is very commercialized and you have to pay for it, but nevertheless it is. And not so much this vocational training program. Now, figures concerning our situation. And now I turn to data of Ministry of Welfare. And you see, if we are looking in common figures, 255,000 and only 11,000 are registered, so it's nothing almost, yeah? Very beautiful picture. But I would like to turn your attention to those 36,000 who is not learning, not working, not acquiring profession. Yes, what you have asked, need, yeah? And it is really the most difficult group in society. When our Lene said what challenges they have making this survey, she answered that the main challenges was to make this 100 interview with unemployed person. Yes, and I suppose it is not specific of our region. It is specific of this group, and because they in some way are isolated, and it is their psychological type. And therefore, working with this group demands special treatment and special skills. And our leader of youth organization, she proposed that this guarantee, if you would like that guarantees for youth reach this group, then you have to go through 4 stages. And first stages is head hunting. Yeah. So to find those persons and to talk with them, it is first necessary step what you would like to, what you need to do. Then the second step is their motivation and individual. And here I don't agree with representative of Croatia who said that, you see, motivation is rather easy. I doubt that motivation for this group is rather easy. My students who make this long-term unemployed, and they approve that it is with every month of being in this need group, it's becoming more and more difficult. Then the third step is involving them in state employment agency activities, and then the first step is finding job place or any education institution to work with them. And because you see, low-level education, here is preschool education, basic education, secondary, and this discontinue learning, but needs, you see, it is 7.1% of all in age 15, 17, and it is big percent, 7.1. And yes, guarantee activities is education and employment. And here, these are very hopeful data, because now our ministry and our employment agency have rather big money for next year, for year 2014 and 2020, combating youth unemployment. And they have a rather different program how to deal with those who is without work experience, and scholarship for them and subsidized work for them, how to previous speaker told a lot about entrepreneurship activity. Yes, it is for stimulated not only with money but with consultation. But this informal education, computer skills, language knowledge, driver licenses, and behavior during interview, and so on. And according to data, in Latvia, there is supposed to be rather big money for professional education program, starting with 480 hours till more than 1,280 hours. So it means that for 6 months, for a year, so giving skills and measures for non-government organization as well. And therefore, I would like to follow the invitation of our moderator and I am close to finishing, but nevertheless, I like this scheme because it shows that yes guarantee and return back to labor market can be implemented only if there will be from one side division of labor of institution, education institution, employment institution, local government, but from other side, it should be cooperation between all those, among all those agencies. Only in such way we can solve this. From my point of view, it is crucial, as Czech command, Czech team presented that, it is crucial for our future. And therefore, I do consider that this human investment is very crucial because without investing in them, and my government is not the most oriented to it, but it should be done. And I absolutely agree with your appeal that youth organization, non-government organization, civic society in general should fulfill all this watchdog job, monitoring the distribution of money, then looking the implementation, how does it work, and evaluation, and giving very wide information to the society that should be feedback. Only in that case, and talking with individual approach, talking with every person, and starting, what I would like to say, starting already with preschool education, because we really have a lot of dropout. And what does it mean, dropout? Dropout today means unemployed for whole life. And therefore, we should change our attitude to education system, and it is this is what I consider crucial if we would like to change situation in our labor market. And this internship not only for students, but internship and opportunity for work for all those who are 15 years old during at least summer vacancies, because it's not only work experience, it's line in CV, and it is very important for person consciousness that yes, I can. Okay, thank you.